Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Andy Gwynn. Andy is an owner of the Post Party Club. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Andy Gwynn. Andy, welcome.
Thank you, Siddique. It's great to be here. Been looking forward to catching up with you.
Yeah, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who are you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Wow. Well, I cut my teeth in employment as a salesman, and I set up my own coaching business in 2003, coaching business owners to grow their business, build and sell businesses. And from about 2010, really started to utilize LinkedIn for the powerful network or platform that it is, and started coaching and teaching and training businesses in how to do that. And over those years, and especially now, we've developed some amazing and unique ways that people can get more business out of LinkedIn across their content, their posts, across events and across direct engagement. Who was I surrounded with? I trained and been mentored by a phenomenal entrepreneur called Brad Sugars. I bought into Action Coach, which is a global coaching organization, but have studied with many, many people from all around the world over the years.
What are the top 3 reasons why do people fail?
That's a great question. I think number one is probably what goes on in here. I'm a big believer in personal development and emotional intelligence. I think it's probably what they're telling themselves and what they're doing. But on a practical level as well, I think in business, a lot of people just haven't learned how to market and sell effectively. It's a skill, and so many people have so many hang-ups over sales and marketing. And then maybe around both of those is the belief in themselves, the belief in themselves that they can achieve more. And then just being able to find the way and probably taking help from other people and the best people, the right people.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
And that's a great question because I was talking about this with a client just today. We often, if we succeed, it's probably rare that we sit down and go, what have I actually learned? But if we fail, we've got an opportunity to. And again, I think a lot of people possibly don't. My greatest failure story, I tried to franchise my LinkedIn training and coaching business a number of years ago. And I had a bunch of franchisees that didn't make it work. And they tried to attack us sort of legally and within the business. And I sat down and learned that, and actually sat down and defined, what do I really want my business to look like? Who do I really want to work with? And how do I want it to pan out? And that gave me a bunch of ideas of what I didn't want to do as much as what I did want to do. And again, it's back to the belief that, okay, we can start again. You can never unlearn knowledge. So it was vital to me that I had to learn something from it and do something differently, because too many of us just keep repeating our patterns, which again, all stem from what goes on in here.
What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
I think it's very similar. I had somebody once say to me, what I admire about you is you're still here. And what they meant was I'd still been in business, engaging with my networks for nearly 20 years. So I think perseverance is one, and an absolute open mind. People hold themselves back or don't succeed because they're closed to what can't work, why things can't happen. So I think number one is an open mind. Number two is be absolutely honest with yourself. To then ask yourself, what else can you do? What else do you need to learn? What else can you do differently? And I do think one of my personal traits that I'm proud of is perseverance. But again, perseverance with an open mind. There's a great saying that says, preparation, when preparation meets opportunity, success happens. So you've got to be prepared for change and prepared for opportunity.
What motivates you within?
Oh, that's a great question, because I don't know. I think I've always had this innate interest in being able to help people. And to begin with, I've learned that I enjoy the sale, but actually beyond that, you're making the sale because you're helping somebody, whatever definition of sale it is. So there's just this innate excitement that there is so much opportunity. I've always wanted to be financially free so that I can help other people, spend time with people I want to be with, and do things I want to do. And I've just focused on that and made it a belief and visualized it. So I think the not the need for success, but the understanding that success is possible and anything is possible for people.
What is your company's motto?
I'm not sure I've published that anywhere. I looked at this question and I thought, I think it's to help people. I used to say to share my stuff. I used a different word. And then I realized that actually I probably got some not so helpful stuff. So actually it's to share my good stuff, to share our good stuff, because we have so much experience, so much resources, so many things from 20 years of really coaching and working with people, as well as people in their personal lives as well as business lives. So my company's motto is to share my good stuff.
Who is your ideal client?
Right now we have post-party clubs, so it's anybody who understands they've got to invest in their marketing but wants to get their word out, wants to get more exposure of their content. But also I'm niching into helping people get attendees to their events, and also coaching them through how to deliver great webinars. So again, people that are looking to scale up and people who understand investing in their business. I think one of the hardest things in the world is to grow a business organically, which I did right at the beginning. Well, not technically true, but I have done it in the past. It's about investing in the growth of your business as well as the growth of yourself. So someone who understands that and is looking to get more success from their online events, and are looking to get more success from their online, especially LinkedIn posts and content.
How do you find your ideal client?
A lot of it is practice what you preach. Things like this. I do a lot of public speaking, a lot of speaking on people's events. I have email campaigns into my own sales webinars. Obviously, we use LinkedIn a lot for our content and our posts. I have a number of strategies in my business, as well as other social media. A lot of it is centralized around speaking, around running seminars pre-COVID and now webinars. And so I guess from a clear, strong marketing strategy across a number of ways. And of course, referrals, and of course, word of mouth as well.
How do you engage your ideal client?
Wow. Again, in many ways, I was taught pre-social media that if you're not communicating with your customers every 90 days, they cease to become your customers. Brad Sugar's taught me that. I now believe if you're not communicating consistently, because there are so many channels of communication. So a lot with our LinkedIn posts, a lot with direct LinkedIn messages, a lot on social media and Facebook, a lot with our email database. If you're in business, you should be growing your own database. And that's what we've been doing for 20 years. So across email, across social media, and especially across LinkedIn.
What are your well-defined products or services?
I have mainly two things. One is the post-party club. We've got a huge membership and resource where we're teaching people how to write content that converts. There's no point just pushing stuff out there if you're not getting engagement. And we've also built and understood the way LinkedIn works to be able to get your content out there massively. So people who are looking to join that and get educated and have a community and get better response from their posts and their content. And then the other one, as I say, is people that are running webinars for their own sales, but know they can improve massively on how they get attendees to their events, how they deliver their webinars, and how obviously they follow up and engage with those people after. And I have a whole coaching program as well as delivery process around that.
Why someone should buy from you?
I don't want to use the flippant answer. I do believe sales is professionally helping people to buy. I rarely meet someone who doesn't think their product or service can help someone. What we have, the other thing that motivates me is results. I love it helping people get results. So what we have in both of those, in our post-party club and our event marketing and event coaching program is people get results very, very quickly. And I work with them to help them get that. And I guess from trying to be modest, we have so many years of experience, but it's not just the years, it's the number of hours and the laps. We've been doing this and refining this and working with hundreds and thousands of businesses over the last 18 years, that we've got the experience to be able to do it. When I bought into my coaching business, someone said, why don't you do it yourself? I said, I'd rather pay and learn from somebody else who's already doing it. I can jump up to that level more quickly. And so maybe that's the reasons why.
How do you crush your competition?
Without saying we're better than the rest, how do we beat them? What we have is unique. With Post Party Club, it is unique when you look at all of the facets of it. There is nothing else out there. We've spent a lot of money on developing the tech and the process, plus the resources, again, we have from 18 years of coaching other coaches, and I've studied with so many of the world's top coaches and speakers and trainers. And the same with the webinar thing. I remember Tony Robbins saying he did as many seminars in a year as most people on the circuit back then had done in 10. And I think I can probably say something similar. In the last 3 to 5 years, I've probably done more webinars than most people have done in their lifetime. So we have the experience that is unique.
How do you deliver a 5-star client experience?
It is all about under promising and over delivering, but I think also it's personal. I have a great lifestyle. The background looks a bit plain at the moment. I'm in my house in southern Spain that we emigrated to last year while in lockdown. So it is Mary and myself. We have a small team that we work with outsource, but it's me. I tried to franchise, leveraging this out for other people to deliver it. And realized for me, it's not been easy teaching to somebody to do something to the standard that I can. And we often hear that. The business owner will always do it probably better than most of the team because it's more personal. So my service is personal to people. And even in Post Party Club, when we have a lot of members at a small price, we still engage with them individually.
How do you use the sales proposals to close more deals?
I have a mapped out sales process. I tend to discover what the client's needs are before we speak, in a sort of questionnaire through my online diary. And then I do believe that the sales conversation has to be very focused around the client's needs. And then I will use online proposals to take them through what's possible. And also I learned how to write proposals from Alan Pease, who wrote Questions Are the Answers.
How do you convert your clients into your brand ambassadors?
You would like to think if you did a great job, people would refer people to you, but understanding human psychology is you've got to keep asking people. So I very much focus on the 80-20 rule, that 20% of my clients that are the raving fans. And I do believe in less is more. So as I've got older or done more years, I'm very much working with those people that want to become brand ambassadors or raving fans, or close strategic partners, and working with a smaller number of them, but that they might be bigger with bigger opportunities.
How do you handle an angry client?
I can't remember the last time I had one. I think the word I use is positioning. If you position your clients at the front end about expectations, this is the same for any human communication. Then if the expectations are met, they shouldn't be angry. But I've coached people to be able to do exactly this, handle angry clients. Don't make it personal. Take ownership of your own language, and obviously look to put it right. I'm very selective over who I work with now, because I only want to work with people that are going to be great clients. And I think everybody in sales and business has the right to choose who they work with. I think the reality is when you're setting up business or you're under pressure, people will often sell to anybody. So I think the first step is to try to get, not even be in a position where your clients are angry, but if they are, take ownership of your own language and the position, and look to sort it for the client based on what they need.
We are about to move into lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
I am, Siddique. Fire away.
What are you grateful for today?
My life and where I am now, and being in Spain, because it's been a dream and a goal for decades, and it would be too easy for me to take it for granted. I do gratitude every day for where I am and the people I'm around.
How do you start your day?
I get up in the morning and I visualize what I want the day and the rest of my life to look like. I know you're going to come on to books. I have a cup of coffee and I go and sit on my roof terrace. I look down the mountain valley to the calm sea, and I just do gratitude for the first 10 minutes before I pick up emails.
How young are you?
I'm 53 years young. I know why you're asking, and I always had a challenge. I was very young when I was first in business. I had a challenge with people alienating me when they discovered how young I was. Life should be a meritocracy, but I'm 53 years young.
Yeah, Andy, you are not 53. You are 18 years old with the 35 years experience.
I also remember being 14 as well as 18.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I'm not going to grow up, Siddique. I have people that get a challenge with it. I pretty much can do whatever I want to do. I think create more financial freedom to be able to spend more time with the people I want to spend and travel with my partner. But I'm doing that now, so I'm never going to grow up. Life should be fun.
What is your plan to achieve your goal?
We're pretty much there. I will never stop growing Post Party Club because it's able to share so much stuff with so many people. I love the opportunity and I love making money and doing business with people, but I will just choose less and less and more specific things like this today. And so it's there, sort of more of the same, still being mindful of opportunities that can help with that goal.
How will you feel in case you don't achieve your goal?
I've set many goals that I haven't achieved. And I remember coaching someone who said, I don't want to set a goal in case I don't achieve it and I'll give myself a hard time. And I said, well, what if you set a goal there and you're here and you still achieve that? I do believe we get what we attract. If I set a goal and don't achieve it, I look at why not? What can I do? Is it still an important goal? Very much of mindfulness and let go of any disempowering emotion. So if I don't achieve it, it is what it is. Let's move on.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
I think in the same way. I used to be a scuba diving instructor, and if we hit a challenge underwater, the mantra was stop, think, and act, rather than react emotionally. So certainly to apply that, but also to let it go. What's the worst that can happen? And then act, plan. What am I going to do to overcome it, to deal with it, not just physically, but also in here.
What is the advice you will give to a younger yourself?
Get out of my own way quicker. I heard an entrepreneur when asked what would he do differently again, if he had his time again, he said he'd learn to fail quicker, which means learn faster. I think maybe learn to control and understand my emotions earlier, quicker. It's taken me a long time to get to the point where I understand the power of emotions and how to manage and work with your emotions.
Once you have a revenue-generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
She's very, very supporting. We have two roles in the business. She knows I tend to be the revenue generating ideas, although she still has some of her own. I've had a rule that I will always bounce them across her and listen to her opinion. I think there's rarely been times where she sort of disagreed because she believes in me and understands it. So I'm not sure about convincing her. If it was something she was vehemently against, I would certainly review big time, but that's not happened in our life.
Just as a follow-up, if I ask the same question to her, would she answer the same way?
Hey, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think we know each other pretty well. We live and work together and have done for 18 years or 16 years. And we're both business coaches. We've both done a lot of personal development and coaching clients for many years around their own emotional intelligence. So I'd like to think we're good at what we do. We're by no means perfect, but I think we understand ourselves and each other well.
Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
I think there's really two. On the personal development level, Tony Robbins. I studied with his crew director. I've crewed his events. He had some life-changing strategies that's helped me. And then on a personal and business development, I mentioned Brad Sugars, who founded Action Coach. He's just got an incredible way of simplifying business and life. I had a conversation with him the other day, and nothing to do with the conversation. He threw out a remark off the cuff that has completely blown my mind and changed the way I'm looking at things right now. And again, I go back to, it would be easy just to dismiss things with a closed mind, that I can't do that, or I'm too busy or whatever. So those two guys and lots of others in many ways.
Can I request you to make an intro to Brad so I can interview him?
I can drop him a line. We can probably you and I have a conversation offline, how best to approach him. He's an extremely unique character, and I've only just started engaging with him now, although we've known each other on social media in the last 12 years. So we can certainly talk about that, and you can probably find a way to get to him as well.
Okay, I appreciate that. Why being impactful is important to you?
I always wonder what we're on this planet for, and I think it can only be to be the best we can be, or to be content with what we've got to be, and therefore, what else do we have other than being impactful on other people? We're all in the sort of same space, and it's, I don't need to go out of my way to help people, but how do you impact on others? Because we often do without knowing, because I have to pay back, because so many people have impacted massively on my life, or with me.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I ask myself that question. I often wonder, how much do people remember people for, and how long? I've had a fair few deaths around our personal life in the last few years. I think I'd like to be remembered for being fun, making people laugh, but also helping and sharing. Just maybe helping them, just giving them information or ideas or experience that has helped them. So being remembered for being good fun and helpful, maybe.
How can we support you?
You already are. I mean, you've got the Post Party Club website up there. I want to grow it globally. There's so much content we can give people. So just to be able to push that out there. And then there's two very different markets. The other one is the high level coach speaker who's running high ticket sales events into high ticket products. Anybody who wants to talk to me about that, but on a massive leverage scale, just pointing people to that website, they can see what Post Party Club can do for them.
We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have a few words about your today's guest experience on the show. Here's my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
I have a rule about being open and honest. It's very different. I love the way you prepare people for it. I've done a lot of podcast interviews for people. So you have it very well positioned. I've used that word with people before. It's quite fast and rapid, but hey, I'd like to think I've handled that okay for you. I'm more interested in, has this been value for your audience? It's been a pleasure, Siddique, because I love your passion. I love what you're doing.
What would you say as a final word?
Keep an open mind and take action.
Thank you so much, Andy, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.